What's good, people? It's CJ Williams for Culturalist Theory with a melancholy video for you today. As 2022 has come to an end, we wanted to remember those in the rap game that we lost. So for today's list, we will recap the rappers who passed away in 2022. Of course, our condolences to the friends, family, and fans of those we lost. This list will be in chronological order by the date of passing. February 1st, Dott Woo. Up-and-coming Brooklyn artist Dott Woo was killed in a drive-by in front of his grandmother's home early afternoon February 1. The 22-year-old born Tajay Dobson was mostly known for his viral dance moves featured in fellow drill artist Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign music videos. The Woo Walk challenge took over TikTok, pushing his status into the forefront. Deciding to parlay the attention into a career in music after friend Pop's passing in 2020, Dott was poised to become a big name in music. He had just signed his first record deal less than 24 hours before he was murdered. Coincidentally, Dott was buried almost 2 years to the day of the passing of friend Pop Smoke. At the time of this recording, no one has been arrested in connection with the murder and no leads have been announced. February 26th, Snootie Wild. LaPreston, Snootie Wild Porter burst on the hip-hop scene with his hit single Yayo early 2014. Released independently in 2013, the record caught the ear of fellow Memphis rapper Yo Gotti, and the CMG CEO signed Snootie to his label later that year. Circumstances around his death are still relatively unclear. What we do know is that Wild was in Houston, where he had been living for some years now, and that he had recently just gotten out of prison in 2021. Around 2 a.m. Friday, February 26th, police discovered his body in a ditch next to an SUV with a gunshot wound to his neck. The 36-year-old would be transported to a local hospital where he would be pronounced dead. He leaves behind 5 kids, and at the time of this video, there have been no arrests in connection with the murder and no leads have been announced. April 3rd, Archie Eversole. South Atlanta rapper Archie Eversole was found by police at a Decatur, Georgia gas station March 25th with a gunshot wound to his face. Archie would go in and out of consciousness, but not before telling police that he was asleep in his bed only to be awakened by someone who shot him in the face. Now, how Eversole got to the gas station is unknown, but he was able to tell police that the shooter was still in his home. When police went to his home, they found Archie's brother, Alexander Cross, there claiming to have been checking up on his brother. Police became suspicious when they noticed blood on his socks and took him into custody. He has since been charged with the murder of Eversole. Most known for his 2002 record We Ready, the song didn't make huge waves commercially initially, but would grow legs later on thanks to its prominent use in sports arenas. Archie passed away in the hospital a few days after the shooting. He was 37 years old. April 17th, DJ K. Slay. Keith Grayson, aka the Drama King, aka DJ K. Slay, was a New York-born rap mixtape innovator of the early 2000s. He also hosted the Drama Hour for more than 2 decades at famed radio station Hot 97. Known for giving platforms to crews and artists like The Diplomats, G-Unit, and Papoose, the DJ would birth his popular Street Sweeper series, host countless mixtapes, and premiere the classic Nas record Ether. In January of 2022, it was announced Mr. Slap Your Favorite DJ was hospitalized after contracting COVID-19. Things were looking up when his brother said he was in, quote, a recovery state. Unfortunately, he would end up succumbing to the virus a few months later in April. He was 55 years old. May 13th, Lil Keed. Rakeed Render, professionally known as Lil Keed, was an artist signed to Young Thug's YSL record label, who was best known for his record Nameless. The song would reach the top 50 on Billboard's hip hop and R&B songs airplay chart and surpass 35 million views on YouTube. The XXL freshman class member would pass away in Los Angeles, California, only a few weeks after label head Young Thug would be arrested on RICO charges. Rumored initially to have died from kidney or lung failure, it was later confirmed via autopsy that Keed died of natural causes. He was 24 years old. June 5th, Trouble. Veteran Atlanta rapper Mario Trouble Orr first came on the scene in 2011 with his single Bussin' that would garner him attention from big name artists like Yo Gotti and Waka Flocka, who would hop on the remix, as well as publications like XXL, who included Trouble in its 15 rappers to watch out for list that year. During the early hours of the morning, the Interscope recording artist was shot during a home invasion while staying with a female acquaintance. Suspect Jamichael Jones allegedly came in the apartment of his ex-girlfriend and got into a physical altercation with Trouble, resulting in the rapper being shot. The two men didn't know each other, making this most likely a case of wrong time, wrong place. Tributes poured in on social media from acts like T.I. to Gucci Mane to Meek Mill and Juicy J. The suspect has since turned himself in and is awaiting trial. Trouble was 34. July 27th, JayDaYoungan. JayDaYoungan, born Javorius Scott, was sitting in front of his lawn in his hometown of Bogalusa, Louisiana, with his father, Kenyatta Scott, when a truck pulled up and 3 armed gunmen got out. While Jay and his father tried to run in the house, 2 more gunmen came from the side of the home and opened fire. The eldest Scott returned fire in self-defense, causing the gunmen to flee. Unfortunately, the 24-year-old rapper was hit 8 times and died at a local hospital nearby. His father was also shot twice but was able to recover. Most known for his record 23 Island, the video has been viewed more than 191 million times. Bogalusa, Louisiana is about an hour and a half outside of New Orleans and is one of the most violent cities in America for its size. Friend and artist F.G. Famous was arrested a few days after the funeral for retaliation shootings connected to the murder. Jay's funeral was held at his high school with notable artists like Boosie Badass and Young and Ace in attendance. September 12th, PnB Rock. Philadelphia native PnB Rock, born Rakim Allen, was shot and killed in an attempted robbery while eating at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in South Los Angeles. Internet rumors were ablaze as many speculated the robbery stemmed from a social media post made by the mother of his 2-year-old with whom he was also eating with. It didn't take long for police to put the pieces together of what actually happened, as 2 weeks later, LAPD arrested a 17-year-old male, his 32-year-old stepmom, and the 17-year-old's father in connection with the murder. Authorities allege that the father, Freddie Trone, was there at the restaurant when PnB arrived with jewelry on. The father then went and picked his son up and came back. Once the shootings occurred, surveillance cameras from traffic lights captured the 2 leaving and going home, parking their car a few blocks away and changing clothes. The father and son are charged with first-degree murder, second-degree robbery, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit robbery, while the stepmom is being charged as an accessory after the fact. If convicted, the juvenile faces up to life with the possibility of parole, and the father faces life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. At the time of this recording, police are looking for a 4th suspect, although that person's involvement is unclear. PnB Rock was 30 years old. September 28th, Coolio. Rapping since the late 80s, Coolio, born artist Ivy Jr., blew up in the mid-90s with the lead single Fantastic Voyage from his debut album It Takes a Thief. The record would be one of the biggest singles that year, peaking at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, but it would be the record Gangsta's Paradise, released the following year in 1995, that would take his career to the next level. The record sold over 5 million copies and netted the LA rapper a Grammy for Best Rap Performance. In the years since, Coolio would drop 8 albums total and have appeared in multiple movies and TV shows. While at a friend's house September 28th in LA, Coolio was discovered unresponsive on the bathroom floor. First responders on the scene will pronounce him dead. No foul play has been suspected, and according to his manager, the 2 hot artists seem to have suffered cardiac arrest. Coolio is survived by his wife and 10 children. He was 59 years old. November 11th, Takeoff. 1/3 of the popular group Migos, Kershnick Bell, BKA Takeoff, was shot and killed at a bowling alley in Houston, Texas, shortly after 2:30 a.m. He was there with uncle and partner in rhyme Quavo, who initial reports stated had been shot as well. Those rumors turned out to be false, as 2 other people were shot but were able to recover. Details are still sketchy as the motive behind the shooting, but TMZ released video of what appears to be Quavo getting into a dispute with someone, with a fight breaking out, then gunshots ringing immediately after. Takeoff was shot 3 times in the torso and head. Houston PD believe he was not the actual target but instead killed by strays. 2 men have been arrested in connection. 22-year-old Joshua Cameron and 33-year-old Patrick Clark. Police believe it was Clark's shot that killed Takeoff. This was probably the most devastating death in the hip-hop community this year. By all accounts, Takeoff was a reserved, quiet individual that didn't have issues with anyone. Several murals have popped up in and around the Atlanta area. His funeral was held at State Farm Arena with over 20,000 people in attendance. He was 28 years old. December 22nd, Big Scarr. Memphis artist Alexander Woods, BKA Big Scarr, passed away from an accidental overdose on prescription pain meds. Woods was found at his girlfriend's house, according to family. Signed to Gucci Mane's 1017 Records in 2020, he is most known for his records So Icy Boys featuring Cousin Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. Earlier this year, he was selected to the XXL freshman class list and was set to be the special guest on Key Glock's Glaucoma tour. To be so young, Scarr had faced several traumatic experiences. He actually got his name from a car accident when he was 16, in which he was thrown through the windshield, resulting in a big scar on his his body. In the 2020 shooting, he was struck by a bullet that traveled up his spine, resulting in emergency surgery to remove his appendix. It's also reported he battled depression after losing his grandmother, with whom he was very close. Law enforcement believe there was no foul play involved in his death. Here's hoping we don't have nearly as many losses in the community for 2023, so we don't have to make a video like this next year. Again, our condolences to the loved ones of those that passed, as well as artists that we didn't highlight in this video. I'm CJ Williams for Culturalist Theory. Until the next time.